Divorce can make you question everything: your worth, your judgment, your faith, your confidence. And if you're a woman over 40, the biggest question often is it too late for me to start over? I want to answer that question with authenticity and from experience. No, it is not too late. In fact, this season may be the time where you truly get to start living a new life. In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact steps that women can take so that they can heal and reinvent themselves after the age of 40 without disappearing. So please stay with me. Divorce isn't just a breakup. In many ways, it's the death of the life that you thought that you would have. And for many women, it comes with shame and fear and a quiet loneliness that you don't really talk about. And I know because I stood in this place myself, wondering what's next? Who am I now? But today, I'm sharing with you the 7 steps to heal, rise, and start over again after divorce. Hello, Queen. I am Dr. Monique. I'm a life coach and I'm an educator. But more than that, I am living proof that it is never too late to reinvent yourself. I transformed my life after the age of 50, and now I am committed to helping women over 40 to do the same. You can live boldly, confidently, and without regrets. So if you are in a season of transition, reinvention, or becoming, then you are in the right place. Step number 1 to reinventing your life after divorce is to create safe emotional support. And this support can look like therapy or counseling, coaching, just a trusted friend that you're able to confide in, maybe your pastor or a church group, but just a place where you can be yourself, you can express yourself, and you can get wise counsel. You do not need to heal by yourself, and suffering in silence doesn't mean that you're strong. It could possibly just delay your healing, because healing begins when you're able to give yourself permission to be supported. Step number 2 is to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is one of the most important things that you can do regardless of what's going on. But with divorce, it's so important because there's so many ways that you may want to beat yourself up and to feel guilty. Oftentimes, women are harder on themselves than anyone else would ever be. We replay our decisions, we second guess everything that we did for the entire marriage, and we punish ourselves internally. So self-compassion sounds like, I did the best that I could do with what I knew at the time. So I'm not talking about making excuses, but I am talking about giving yourself the same compassion that you would give your sister, your best friend, your cousin, whomever who would come to you and they were hurt because of divorce. So please give that to yourself, to speak to yourself with truth and kindness. And this shift right here can change everything. The next step is sometimes where people really get stuck. Step number 3 is to allow yourself to grieve, regardless of whether you initiated the divorce or not. You need to give yourself time to grieve because you experienced a loss. You may want to grieve the loss of your marriage, the loss of the future that you imagined, the family structure that you had hoped for. Because when people get married, we get married believing that we're really going to be together for the rest of our lives. We don't plan for divorce when we get married. So there is something that has to shift. And you need to take time to grieve. So grief doesn't mean that you regret the decision. It doesn't mean that you want to be remarried. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you are acknowledging that you lost something. It means that you're human, and healing requires space for mourning what was, right? We're going to mourn what we thought was going to happen but will never happen. And we get to do this without shame. So you are divorced, it happened, and now we have to move on from there. Okay, step number 4 is to face and release shame. Depending on the family where you came from, your culture, your religion, there may be some shame attached to divorce. So this shame will tell women that you don't belong anymore. For me, I felt like God couldn't use me anymore. That somehow divorce disqualified me from my purpose. But that is just a trick. That is not the truth. Divorce does not disqualify you from love or joy or purpose. And when a person is experiencing shame, this shame really thrives and grows in secrecy. That's why it's so important to have this support system, why it's so important to be able to express yourself to others so you're not at home secretly in self-condemnation. Shame thrives in secrecy, but healing grows in truth. Queen, you are still worthy. You are still chosen. You're still called. You still have a purpose. You're still valuable. You still have a voice. And you are still loved. And if you're still watching this, the next step is truly where the transformation begins. Step number 5 is to choose forgiveness for your Step number 5 is to choose forgiveness. And this forgiveness is about your freedom. Forgiveness is not approval. You're not saying that what your ex did was okay. Forgiveness is release. You're going to release him. You're going to let him go. So we don't forgive because he deserved it. We're going to forgive because we don't want to carry around anger and bitterness, because harboring unforgiveness does not hurt the person who wronged us. If we harbor unforgiveness, it only hurts us. It wrecks our bodies and our minds and our emotions, and it keeps us stuck. So we have to forgive. We're going to forgive him, and then we're going to forgive ourselves. Yes, forgiveness includes forgiving ourselves. Yes, forgiveness includes forgiving yourself. Forgive the woman who you were before. Forgive the woman you were before you had more information. Forgive the woman you were before you knew better, right? Because when we know better, we can do better. Forgive the woman you were when you had less support and less awareness and less wisdom. You may have done some things that you don't feel great about. You may have made some bad decisions, but if God can forgive us, then surely we can forgive ourselves. And this was very important for me. God showed me something very powerful. My divorce did not disqualify me. It refined me. And it gave me wisdom. It gave me clarity. It gave me strength. So that I'm even able to do this now. Because initially I thought I couldn't fulfill my purpose. It was over. Nobody would listen to me. And one of the reasons they wouldn't be able to listen to me was because I wasn't speaking. But I'm so glad that I got my voice back, that God was able to show me through several different ways that He could still use me. And I'm telling you now that you can still be used. It's not too late. Step number 6 is to reinvent your life. So after divorce, many women will ask, what's next? Who am I now? We spend so many years just pouring into our marriage, pouring into our children, just pouring into everyone else that, just being part. We spend so many years being part of a couple that some of us don't know who we are if we're no longer part of a couple. But you were someone when you were born, you were someone before you got married, and you are still someone very special now. So this doesn't have to be a crisis. This is an opportunity. This is an invitation to ask yourself, what do you want your life to feel like? Right? So you have more freedom now. What do you want your life to feel like? What kind of woman do you want to be? Who are you becoming? What brings you peace? What brings you joy? Who does God say that you are? Right? You have time now. You can be who it is that you want to be. If you want to go back to school, if you want to pick up hobbies, just if you want to spend some time working on your appearance, how are you going to reinvent yourself? This can truly be an exciting time for you to spend time figuring out exactly who you are and who you want to be. So reinvention begins with vision, not fear. And in some other videos, reinvention begins with vision, not fear. And in a future video, I will elaborate on just the fear component. So please subscribe so you can be notified when that video comes out. This video is part of a Reinvention playlist, and I encourage you to spend some time writing out your vision and truly transforming to be exactly who you want to be. This is an opportunity for you, and I'm here to tell you on the other side that life gets to be good again. Oftentimes, if someone hasn't seen me in a while, they will just comment, you look so much happier. You look like you're glowing. Because there was a reinvention. Yes, I went through the stages of anger and denial and grief, and I went through all of that because divorce is a loss. But there are good things on the other side. So step number 7 is to take small, intentional steps. You don't rebuild your life in one big step. You rebuild it day by day, habit by habit, boundary by boundary, choice by choice. We go from faith to faith to faith. If you want to get to the top of a ladder, you don't jump from the bottom all the way up to the top. You go rung by rung by rung. And that's what you need to do. Day by day, you're going to rebuild your life. Keep taking small steps in the right direction, building momentum. And with momentum comes confidence. And with confidence comes your new life. Friend, let me remind you of something very important. You are not starting over from nothing. You are starting again with wisdom, with experience, with strength. And divorce does not define you. It does not diminish you. It does not determine your future. If this message has spoken to you, please in the comment below type "I choose healing." And if you're walking this journey of reinvention, please subscribe, because you don't have to do this alone. I'm here to support you, and your next chapter is not a loss, it is a becoming. And if you're walking this journey of reinvention, please subscribe, right? Connect with me. You do not have to do this alone. You got this, and we're here to support you. And I will see you in the next video. Be blessed.